It is not random. When the mind moves toward distraction, it moves toward something specific. Not just anything. Something lighter than what is here. Something that asks less. Notice that. The next time the mind pulls away from what it is doing, notice where it goes. Not vaguely somewhere else. Somewhere specific. A particular relief. A particular quality of ease. That specificity is worth examining. Distraction is usually described as movement away. Away from the task, away from the present moment, away from what is difficult. But this is only half of it. It is also movement towards something that offers a particular kind of relief. Not rest exactly, not pleasure exactly, but a specific loosening of whatever was tightening. The phone offers one kind of loosening. Food offers another. A conversation in the head about something unrelated offers another still. Each one has its own texture, its own specific quality of relief. Think of the last time you were working on something difficult. Not dramatic difficulty, just a task that required sustained attention. An email that needed care. A decision that had no clear answer. A conversation that kept being postponed. At some point, the attention moved. Where did it go? Not just away from the difficult thing, towards something specific. Something that offered exactly the kind of relief the difficulty was preventing. If the work required careful thought, the relief was probably something mindless. Scrolling, a familiar video, something that asked nothing. If the work required emotional presence, the relief was probably something light, humour, distraction, noise. If the work required stillness, the relief was probably movement, standing up, walking to the kitchen, the fridge again. The distraction is not random. It is precisely shaped to provide what the difficulty was withholding. This precision is the thing worth noticing, because if distraction were random, if the mind just moved toward anything, it would be much easier to see. But it is not random. It knows exactly what to reach for. Which means something in the mind has already assessed the difficulty, identified what it is withholding, and located the precise relief before the movement begins. All of that happens before we notice we are distracted. There is something almost impressive about it. The mind, faced with something demanding, conducts a kind of quiet assessment. What does this require of me? What does it cost? What would make that cost disappear? And then, before the conscious mind has finished a sentence, the movement has already begun. The tab is already open. The phone is already in the hand. The thought is already somewhere else. We discover we have been distracted. We do not decide to become distracted. So what is actually happening in the moment just before the movement begins? There is a quality to it. If the attention is close enough to catch it, a faint resistance, not dramatic, not refusal, just a slight pulling back from what is being asked. Sometimes it is in the chest, a mild contraction, the body registering the cost before the mind has named it. Sometimes it is just a change in the breath, a slight shallowing, the beginning of moving away before there is anywhere specific to go. And then the relief arrives, already chosen, already waiting. This is not a problem to solve. The mind moves toward relief the way water moves downhill. It is not a character flaw. It is not laziness. It is simply what happens when something asks more than the mind wants to give in that moment. The observation is not, stop being distracted. The observation is simply, notice the texture of it. Notice what specific relief the mind reaches for. Notice what that relief tells you about what the difficulty was asking. Notice the moment just before, the faint pulling back, the slight change in breath, the body already knowing before the mind decides. Right now, is there something the attention is slightly pulled away from? Not dramatically, just a mild background pull toward something easier than this. Notice the texture of that pull. What is it reaching toward? What quality of relief does it want? And beneath the pull, what is being avoided? Not the task, not the content, just what quality of experience is the mind moving away from? You do not need to answer. Just notice that something is there, already moving, already knowing where to go.